Today, the Justice Department entered into an agreement with the Louisville Metro Police Department and the Louisville Metro Government to enact significant systemic reforms to policing in Louisville. Nearly 5 years ago, Breonna Taylor was shot and killed in her own home in the middle of the night by Louisville Metro Police Department officers. The Justice Department later launched a criminal investigation into the circumstances surrounding Ms. Taylor's tragic death. One former officer has pleaded guilty, and another was recently convicted for conduct related to Ms. Taylor's death. The department's criminal prosecution of two other former official officers remains ongoing. Separate from the criminal investigation into Ms. Taylor's death, in April 2021, we also opened a civil investigation to determine whether the Louisville Metro Police Department, LMPD, engages in a pattern or practice of unlawful policing. Today marks a significant step in that investigation. Shortly after we opened that investigation, an LMPD leader told the department, quote, "Breonna Taylor was a symptom of the problems that we have had for years." The findings of our investigation, which I came to Louisville to announce last year, made that clear. After completing our investigation, we concluded there was reasonable cause to believe that Louisville Metro and LMPD engage in a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the First and Fourth Amendments of the Constitution, as well as conduct that violates Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Safe Streets Act, and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Specifically, we determined that Louisville Metro and LMPD engage in a pattern or practice of conduct, including the use of excessive force, unlawful discrimination against Black people, searches based on invalid warrants, and violation of the rights of those engaged in protected speech critical of policing. Since that announcement, our team has been working closely with LMPD leaders and officers, as well as the Louisville Metro Government, to negotiate a consent decree, a legally binding document detailing remedial measures that will put this community firmly on the path to reform. We have also spent considerable time hearing from Louisville residents and community leaders. The result is the consent decree that was filed with the District Court for the District of Kentucky this morning. If approved by the court, the consent decree will protect the rights of Louisville residents through systemic reform, including by implementing de-escalation techniques and analyzing trends involving use of force across the department, by requiring specific and accurate statements of probable cause in applications for search warrants, by expanding non-police response to calls involving behavioral health issues, and training officers to respond safely to mental health crises, by implementing procedures to abate racial discrimination and limit pretextual stops, and by holding officers accountable for misconduct by thoroughly investigating complaints and implementing fair and consistent discipline. The consent decree comes against the backdrop of a number of positive changes that Louisville Metro and LMPD have already instituted. But as today's consent decree makes clear, there is still more work to do to effectively improve public safety, build community trust, and comply with the Constitution and federal law. I am grateful to the staff of the Civil Rights Division and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Kentucky for their extraordinary work on this investigation. To the officers of the Louisville Metro Police Department, the Justice Department recognizes that the work you do is difficult and dangerous. We recognize how much is asked of you to help keep your community safe, and we recognize that for you to do your work in a manner that protects the safety and civil rights of the community you serve, your police department must do a better job of setting you up for success. It is our hope that this agreement will enable the Louisville Police Department to do just that. To the people of Louisville, thank you for your engagement and for the many hours you have spent speaking with us. And thank you for honoring Breonna Taylor through your tireless advocacy. The Justice Department joins Ms. Taylor's loved ones in remembering her today, and we remain committed to honoring her life through our collective efforts to make Louisville a better and safer place for all of its residents.